Oh, James, not freebie. I abruptly ended that last one without saying anything just because I didn't know how I was going to end it. And honestly, as I was having a hard time flipping pages and, just walking around. Kind of got lost in the train of thought, looking around, making sure I was aware of everything around me. But I am back very quickly to everyone else for part 2, where I get to pick up on that game that I was alluding to right before we got to the Louisville and Virginia game. That Kent State game. Yeah, I know, Kent State fans, you love it. Hearing that Oklahoma nutted up, I wouldn't say nutted up, but definitely brought the defense and laid 44-0. With or without John Mateer, it was going to be a game where Oklahoma came out and handled business. This wasn't going to be the game to be concerned about John Mateer being out at all. I think that there could have been many quarterbacks that ended up not being Oklahoma quarterbacks or being not great future quarterbacks elsewhere that could have probably ran that offense that exact same way and given themselves hype to know. Thank God we have such a loyal and genuine backup as Michael Hawkins Jr. because that man is still here and he knows his offense very well. I mean, even though it's the first year of it, he feels very comfortable and it's an adaptation of what he was probably used to wanting to run. There's not much to talk about. Oklahoma's defense did everything in their power to embarrass and really show off how great they were. Oklahoma's defense, and I'm saying this subjectively, not as hardcore, and even as a lifelong fan, this is the best defense I think I've ever witnessed since maybe I was a small little child. This defense is it's scary. Yeah, I think that there will be fans that want to complain about BS wins, that we shouldn't be undefeated. Man, at this point, woulda, coulda, shoulda. What ifs, man. The history books are written by what ifs. But it's week 2, week 3, week 4, talking about that when ultimately nobody cares about that if you're facing for a playoff game. Make the playoffs and then, we could talk about whatever after that. Right now, Oklahoma seems to have a very good grasp on what they want to accomplish this season. And the offense is clicking. And it really was a get the rest of the offense to remain on schedule. So in case John Mateer wants to try and return, which is what the rumor is for Texas this week, or not. Whether Michael Hawkins has to go out there. With the way Texas's defense and offense are playing, they are a very beatable team. So I think the confidence is high going into Texas, and they really want to prove it. And they really want to get back at Texas for the entirety of last year and the year before that, where things like this weren't happening for Oklahoma. And the fact that we're scoring as well as we are, and the defense remained as great as it's always been, there wasn't that much of a drop-off losing some of the top-tier talent that we did. But you know what? That's great. We move on to UNLV, Wyoming. Snowy Wyoming, where UNLV beat them 31-17. UNLV just kind of took care of business. It was 24-3 at half, and really the 2 touchdowns scored by Wyoming late were just kind of consolation prizes. UNLV only had to score 1 more touchdown to really seal the deal, as they say. Not that it was threatened much. Yeah, 17-24 looks a lot worse, but I guess that pittance prize of a touchdown at the very end, which is kind of big. You think you're close, but you're not really that close. We move on to another Big 12 team who actually is probably far more legit than the Iowa State team, Texas Tech. 35, Houston 11. Houston wanted to really play the catch-up game when they were down 25-11. Yeah. Texas Tech, all they really had to do was do what exactly they did. It was score at least a field goal to really ice it. Go 28-10 or 28-11. But then they decided to score a touchdown, or Houston let them score a touchdown. And Houston's, I wouldn't call it a miracle run. I wouldn't call it anything other than what? Yeah, damn, they were kind of legit there for a second. They were kind of scary. People were, I swear, thought I saw a video where they were saying that they were going crazy. No, Houston ain't. Houston's a still beautiful. They're getting there. They're getting there. They're working on getting to be a top tier Big 12 team, but they are not quite close enough. Texas Tech is still the class of the Big 12 and really should be thought of as such. All right. I'm gonna Memphis 45, Tulsa 7. Tulsa season may only exist for one thing. And if that is to get Mike Gundy fired, I think Tulsa fans are probably okay with that. And maybe even Oklahoma State fans are more than okay with that. This week, they get absolutely blasted back down to earth, just like the week before. The Turnpike Classic by Navy. Memphis just said, come over here. I know you guys think that you're close to us. I know you think that you are close to us within the conference. Well, let me show you who's the real G5 competitor. Not that Tulsa was going to be competing for that kind of anything any kind of soon, but you know. Oh, sorry. We're going to try and move through these a little bit. We got Cal. We got Duke. Duke continues to run Mensa, their quarterback. Legit. I still like Cal's quarterback, just not as much. He needs another couple of years. Duke 45, Cal 21. And Fresno State 20, Nevada 17. A pretty close game and a pretty fun game to watch, even to the very end. I really enjoyed watching this in the evening, in the late stages. But that's all from week 6. Like I said, I'm pretty disappointed with myself not being able to provide stats. And like I said, next week's back on schedule. And speaking of next week, let me get you what we got. Starting literally tonight, we got 2 games that really are the only ones happening. Missouri State visiting Middle Tennessee State, and Liberty visiting UTEP. I will be keeping my eyes on those. We got Eastern Carolina visiting Tulane tomorrow. And then we got Southern Miss visiting Georgia Southern tomorrow. Friday, South Florida visiting North Texas. Rutgers visiting Washington. And on Saturday, we got a pretty even slate on the early slate. Louisiana going to James Madison. UMass going to Kent, just so I could sit there and watch Oklahoma and Texas fight it out. And then including to that, so I could have the entire slate as clear as I want it. UAB visiting FAU. That deal going straight to the Atlantic. I know, my son's trying to help me out. San Jose State going to Wyoming. Hopefully it's snowy, and hopefully Danny Scudero shows up with that juice. I want another 125 yards and another touchdown out of Scudero. And it will be another successful week, and I will continue to thump the Bible of Scudero. Kansas going to Texas Tech. Kansas, a scary team with their quarterback, Jalen Daniels, and Texas Tech. Continue to be undefeated and proving to be the class of the Big 12. That's going to be a hell of a game. New Mexico at Boise State. I get to see the blue turf. It's the first time since week 1 where Florida kind of came in and ruined the entire mood, and I didn't want to watch it. Hopefully, they play it close to New Mexico and really don't give up a whole ton. And then at the night slot, Nevada hosting San Diego State. Like I said, Nevada, San Diego State, New Mexico, all very frequent flyers of the Not Freebie fan club and watch party. So I will see you this time next week. Hopefully a Tuesday, and hopefully I get my... hopefully I just keep better track of these stats and make sure I write them down in a more efficient manner, and that would be half my battle there. The other half is just comes and it goes. But till next time, thank you very much. Please, if you would, tell a friend. And I promise, back to the regularly scheduled statistics plus storytelling. It's not just straight storytelling without no, numbers behind it. I think stories deserve the numbers, so my stories can be backed up by, facts.